everyone, Kalla here. Welcome to my live stream. Glad you could make it today. So, it's time for some more Charade Maniacs. Last time, we attempted to take advantage of a system reset to try and figure out a way out of here, only to discover there isn't really a way out. This entire area is basically projected into a room with blank buildings, and that room is full of slimes. So yeah, that's something we learned last time. And those slimes were terrifying. Hello Nick, hello Drag. How are you doing? The projection still doesn't explain how we get teleported. Yes, good point. Because clearly this building physically exists because anything we physically interact with physically exists, or does it? I'm not sure how much of this world is virtual and how much is real, but I guess we'll find out. How am I doing? Not too bad, not too bad. My throat is not currently upset with me. We shall hope that continues. Right, so while coming down to the living room, my bangle suddenly rang. Although it surprised me, I looked at it and a message was displayed on it. Maintenance complete. System has been restarted. The maintenance is over. Before it started, the idea of maintenance brought us a bit of hope. But now I feel relieved it's over.
どういうことだ、これは?
I looked away from the display when I heard that voice and looked around for everyone. Most of them had gathered by the window and were looking outside.
メンテナンスが終わった途端、元の風景に戻った。
さっきまで愛想のない天井しか見えなかったのにな。
So you could see out the windows, which is why the maintenance notice included close the curtains.
天井の方が良かった?
冗談だろ。あれじゃ息が詰まる。
Yeah, but the ceiling's still there, though. It's just got a pretend sky on it now.
あ、セナお姉ちゃん、もう平気なの?
Haiji approached me, and that caused everyone to look my way. Being the focus of attention made things strange, but then I used the messaging function. Yes, were you all looking outside?
ああ。とりあえず座って状況整理しようか。
Futami led the discussion as we all sat down. Everyone looked restless as Dazai spoke up first.
結局、メンテナンス中に外に出たのは、俺と瀬名と茅ヶ崎さんだけが。
俺は指示に従って部屋にいた。特に出る理由もなかったしな。
僕はカードゲームしてたよ。僕はずっと寝てた。
僕は赤瀬くんと部屋で話をしていた。エバナくんは?
同じく部屋にいた。
やっぱり3人だけか。どういう状態だったか、もう一度説明してもらっていいか、ダサイ。
ああ。俺も最初は部屋にいたんだが、メンテナンスに入ってから窓の外を見てみたんだ。すると空が見えず、代わりに人工の天井があった。それが気になって確認のために外に出た。 外の様子は様変わりしていて、そこは町じゃなかった。建物は一応あるが廃墟のような感じで、化学兵器とかで人間や生物植物が生き絶えて100年経ったら同じ風景になるかもな。そのくらいには世紀のない眺めだった。それと遠くには壁が見えた。というか全方位を壁で囲まれていた。そして天井で蓋をされていて、箱に入った死んだ町、あるいは大きなシェルターだな。俺の感想としては。
シェルターか。なるほど。
Yeah, that could be a thing.
なあ、じゃあ最悪バングル外して街の外へ強行突破なんてこともできないってこと？
まあそういうことだな。あの壁を破壊する戦車でもない限りは。
I mean, maybe we could wish for a tank. Probably not. That's probably not something they would let us have. Yobu's statements made me break out in a sweat. We tried to force our way out and failed, so we have to feign ignorance.
それと、さっきは言わなかったが。
As I was stuck on what to say, he kept shifting his gaze from us to the window before continuing.
外で奇妙な生き物も見た。
奇妙な生き物？
泥の塊みたいなんだが、動いていておかしな鳴き声をしていた。これも説明が難しいな。
何それ、怪物みたいだけど。
その通り、怪物ってことだ。
The facility suddenly became quiet. That silence was palpable. I held my hands together. I felt the sweat beading on my palms.
けれどその風景はメンテナンスが終わった途端元の風景に戻った。そうだね。
そうです。それ自体は全員見てましたよね。
さっき日和ちゃんとちーちゃんも外に出たって言ってたけど、同じの見たの？どんな感じだった？やっぱ怪物って感じ？ちーちゃんって誰？
茅ヶ崎さんのことだろ？つうか行部、さっきから言い方がさ。
I moved my finger towards the display that I had kept open. But my hand felt heavy and my finger shook. A monster. Like mud.
今何の話でしょうか？
I turned around and saw Chigasaki, pale as a ghost, standing there.
茅ヶ崎さん、具合大丈夫ですか？
はい、気にしないでください。
He staggered a few steps before dropping himself into a nearby chair. He didn't seem to be at 100%.
それより今は何の？
外で見た生物の話をしてたんですが。
ちーちゃんは見た？外で変な怪物。
怪物？
お前さ、言い方考えろよ。瀬名も茅ヶ崎さんも具合悪いんだから。
どういう言い方ならいいの？
まあ話すのがためらわれるぐらいには謎の生物だった。俺が見たのは以上。
不思議な生物のことですか？確かに僕も見ました。でも詳しいことは分かりません。瀬名さんを連れ帰るのに必死だったので。
なるほどね。じゃあ僕からも一ついいかな。
Yoichi placed a piece of paper on the table while saying that.
なんだ、写真か？
Looks like a lifeless street. The ones who were surprised to see that photo were Shigasaki, Dazai, and me.
実はこの写真のデータ、以前図書館の資料から引っ張ってきたものだった。
Ah, from the library.
出力したのは1枚しかないけど、他にも何百枚もある。これまではどこか知らない土地の写真だとスルーしていたけど、今の僕らには見知った土地だ。そうだよね、ダサイ君、茅ヶ崎君、瀬名君。
ああ、この写真はメンテナンス中の異世界の違い。
そうですね。これは宿舎の近くの通りです。
I nodded quietly. This photo completely matched with the scenery we saw outside.
でもどうしてメンテナンスするかしないかで外の風景が変わるんだ？風景を廃墟みたいに変えて何の意味がある？
それは考え方が逆じゃないの？廃墟を今の風景に変えているんでしょ？
あれが本来の姿だと。
The same nebulous thought. But when I tried to think about why I did, I realized it was because Shigasaki said so.
僕らが見ていたあの街の光景はおそらく映像か何かで全部作り物だったんでしょう。
I looked toward him, and Shigasaki looked down once before speaking again.
僕もそう思いました。元の風景があまりに殺風景だから美しい風景に変えているのかなと。根拠があるわけじゃないけど、ここをアルカディアと呼ぶくらいだから、そんな演出をしても不思議じゃないと思って。
うん、その意見には納得できる。つまりディレクター側の言うこのシステムとは、僕らのバングル、バウンサー、そしてこの世界の風景を司る全てのシステムなんだろう。バングルで偽の視覚情報を送れば違う景色を見せることくらいは可能だからね。
Oh, yeah, that's a good point. I was thinking along the lines of it being like physically projected onto it, but the bangles are like physically connected to our nervous systems, right? So I guess it can just make us believe that we're seeing a particular thing. It could be that we're not physically transported to where we're doing the dramas. Like maybe the system just makes it look like we are. Hmm.
でも俺は外に行った時木に触りました。ちゃんと木の感触がした。
まあその点はわからないな。
I mean, once again, that could be the bangle feeding us the sensory information that we're supposed to have. So, I guess I'm going to change from what I was saying last time when I was like, this is kind of like current level VR. We're probably closer to full dive VR then, if it can mimic sensations and things. We tried to gather all the information we had to consider. All of a sudden, Abana said something heartless that grabbed everyone else's attention.
そういうの考えて何か意味ありますか？エバナ、あまり言いたくないが、毎回そういう風に空気を壊すのは。じゃあ聞きますが、あの謎のドラマのシステムについて誰か仕組みが分かってる人はいますか？それは。
Which world is the true world? Yeah, that's true. That is still a big question mark. Are we all pieces of data on the second moon?
ドラマになったら突然別の場所に移動する。服装も気がつくと変わってる。怪我をしてもドラマが終わったら治る。メンテナンス中だけ変わる風景なんかよりよっぽどおかしい。花からおかしいんだよ、全部。なのにああだこうだ話し合って、それで俺らが帰れるとでも？違うでしょ。意味ないんだよ、こんなの。
Abana, understanding how this all works might help us get home. Like, if we know where we are and how things work, we might be able to. The atmosphere became even gloomier. But he was right. Because of that, all we could do was sigh.
せっかく僕が空気読んでたのにさ、図星疲れてみんな黙っちゃったじゃん。
うるさい。お前はこんな時だけ空気を読むな。
じゃあせっかくだから落ちるところまで落ちてみる？いつまで経っても言わないから言うけどさ、メイちゃんが言ってた怪物って異世界人じゃないの？街の中を歩いて喋ってたんでしょ？
Yeah, that's what I was thinking, Diego.
メイちゃんって言うな。
この後に及んでまだそこ突っ込むの？っていうか動揺しないってことはメイちゃんも分かってたってことじゃん。
Everyone gasped when they witnessed as I failed to deny it.
ほら、じいちゃんも黙ってる。分かっていながら黙ってるなんてずるくない？未だに気づいてない彼女のためかな。
それは。
はあ、ドロドロの化け物が異世界人？冗談きついな。
Well, it's a reasonable assumption to make. There are beings inhabiting this world with us, and there are slime creatures. Those two things are probably the same.
だってみんなあの異世界人と喋ってみた？おかしいんだよ全員。日本語喋ってるけどさ、話通じないもん。人間じゃないなって思ったんだよね。でも正体が泥の怪物なら納得って感じ。見た目だけ人間に見えてただけなんだね。
With Gyobu's statement. Where is this place?
ここは異世界ですよ。
Where is Arcadia? Is it still in Japan? Excuse me?
こんにちは。アイスをどうぞ。
No, I'm fine. Thank you for the ice cream.
こちらはアドバイスです。異世界人に直接接触することはあまりおすすめできません。
Huh? Oh, what does that mean?
推奨できないということです。強制ではありません。
if we touched one of the Arcadians, would we feel human-type skin or would we feel goop? It all connected. Everything made sense. I suddenly felt nauseous and covered my mouth with my hand.
Senna!
I broke into a sweat and my vision blurred. I hunched over and someone rubbed my back, but I couldn't tell who it was. So, those were the otherworld people? I was talking to those things and I received ice cream and ate it. In my head I heard some high-pitched screeching echoing. I realized later that it was a scream I made despite being unable to voice it. Calm down, calm down, calm down. I already ate it, why let it bother me now? I took a deep breath and exhaled. While I'd continued doing that, I crouched down and realized my hands were on the floor. I could feel tears and sweat dripping down.
この話はやめよう。とにかく、セナはもう少し休んだ方がいい。
あのな。とにかくこの手を離してよ、ともくん。苦しいってば。あんたのせいだぞ。分かってるんだろう。本当のことを言っただけなのになんで怒るのかね。
皆さん、お集まりですか？
Well, what is it this time?
くそ、こんなタイミングで。
ああ、集まってるよ。何かよ。
今回は簡単な確認です。メンテナンス中に宿舎の外へ出たキャストがいらっしゃるようですが。
There we go! Time to find out if we get punished for it.
その方の精神状態は安定してますか？健康状態に問題はございませんか？
それはどういう意味かな。
そのままの意味です。これまでの配信に参加したキャスト様の中には外の光景を見たがために。
Well, maybe there is no punishment to it. Just because they know how stressful actually seeing it would be. And there's nothing that they could do that would be worse than that.
精神に異常をきたした方がいらっしゃいました。同様の事例が起こっていないかどうか確認です。
I mean, I wouldn't necessarily say it's a mental breakdown. I would definitely say she's having a panic attack.
はあ？
もちろんその時からは環境を改善しています。そのために視覚周りのシステムをグレードアップしましたから。ただメンテナンス中はシステムがダウンしてしまうので本来の風景が見えてしまいます。ですので皆さんの精神状態を健やかに保つためにもメンテナンス中はアナウンスに従うようお願いいたします。
なんというか親切なことだな。こっちの精神面まで配慮してくれるとは。
アップグレード以前の条件下ではキャストの皆さんに負荷がかかるのか、キャスト失格が続出しておりました。そのため不本意ながら帰還したキャストがいらっしゃらなかったので、そのように仕様を変更いたしました。
Huh. What?
ストがいなかったって、それは具体的に。
Yet surely some cast members must have made it back in the past, right? 'Cause why would there be rumors? Like, if no one had ever. Then again, I suppose the producer could be spreading rumors.
お伝えしたいことは以上です。特に問題なければ結構ですので。それでは。
After the director finished, we were faced with an unexpected truth. Everyone was shocked. We remained silent for a while. The first one to break the silence was Akase.
帰還したキャストがいなかったって、何人死んでいったんだ、この狂った世界で。
さあ、でも仕様を変更してくれたって言うんだからよかったじゃない。少しは難易度下げてくれたんでしょ。
それは感謝したいところだな。ぜひイージーモードで生きて帰りたい。
今のところはハードモードだね。それにしても彼らは後出しが多いな。質問に対する返答も気まぐれだし。
Everyone's voices spun around me. None of it felt real at all at the time. I used my sleeve to wipe my eyes. I took 3 more deep breaths, and my mind finally started to work. We can't escape from here. We're caged in an unknown place with monsters everywhere. On top of that, everything we see here is just fake. We see its ideal form, but it's all different from what's on the inside. The thing that crossed my mind was what our teacher said at the closing ceremony.
それまでは我々一人一人が危機意識を持つこと、目に見えない不確かなことを鵜呑みにせず、しっかりと自分の目で確認し判断しましょう。
Disappointing. We can't even believe in the things we can see with our own eyes. On top of that, there hasn't been a single cast member that has managed to escape. Everyone died here. They felt despair like I do now. I could feel the tears welling up, and I rubbed my eyes once again. My sleeve got all wet. But I can't. Not here. If I lose to them, I'll never go home. I got up and stood straight. I then noticed it was Dazai who was rubbing my back. I mouthed the word thank you, although my voice was still gone. We can't stay afraid. We have to research more about it. I refuse to die here while being ignorant. After a deep breath, I sent that message and the atmosphere changed again. Everyone knew that I was just putting up a front, but no one said anything.
そうだね。状況を整理するためにもう少しだけ話し合おうか。10分だけでいい。残りは明日でいい？
なんで俺の方を見るんですか。
10分経ったら夕飯にしましょう。俺昼飯食ってないんで腹減ってるんです。
賛成。俺も食ってない。
Huh? Food? When I heard those words, what happened at the park crossed my mind. I was finally becoming more motivated, but I felt the blood drain from my face.
おいバウンサー、ここの食事は食べても平気なものなのか。本当は別の物体だったなんてことはないよな。
As I saw how pale I had gotten, standing a little closer to me now.
飲食物に関しては視覚情報の補正は行っておりません。
So food looks like what it's supposed to be. Cool. That's nice to know.
あなた方が普段口にされていたものと同じ成分で構成されています。
Somehow, that explanation does not make me feel better. It's composed of the same materials you usually eat. That's a weird way to put that, Watcher. That's a weird way to phrase that.
さすがに食べ物については偽物だったらすぐに気がつくだろう。
じゃあ食べても平気なんだね。
そのようだ。じゃあこの空気を変えるためにも話し合いが終わったら食事にしよ
う。この空気ってこれ僕が悪者の流れ？
少しは反省しろよ、お前は。
We found out that the food and drink were fine, so things felt slightly better. But I still couldn't shake off that disgust. Even if the food was fine, the thing serving my food is... But I decided to do my best. I have to change my mindset.
お姉ちゃん、大丈夫？
That's fine. We can just eat Abana's food, and then it hasn't been touched by slime monsters. Probably.
あまり無理するなよ。
The two of them looked worried, so I smiled to show them I was fine. They didn't say anything else, so they probably knew what I was thinking.
茅ヶ崎？顔色が悪いぞ。
すみません。まだ少し体調が。話が終わったら僕は部屋に戻ります。
We exchanged more information after that and dismissed ourselves. It took 15 minutes, a bit longer than expected. As I saw everyone walk away, I quietly took a deep breath. It'll be okay. It'll be okay. If I did nothing, worry and fear would overcome me. What if we're a variant of slime monsters? Oh no! I'm going with probably not. Like 95% certainty. It's okay. I can go home. I can do this. My voice will be back. I can go back home. I'll be fine. Just fine. Chapter 6. Border of Secrets and Lies. It's morning. I could tell when it was morning by the light. At first I thought it would be a problem without clocks, but I realised why I didn't need one. Waking up in the morning to eat breakfast, getting ready to leave home for school, getting to the bus stop on time, taking classes on time, hanging out with friends after school, going shopping before it got too late, going home after a long day. I was part of the world like everyone else. That's why I had to adjust my time so that it would match up with everyone else. In this world, though, it wasn't necessary. But this world isn't supposed to have mornings in the first place. The sky and everything else is all artificial. I started feeling more and more depressed. It was a downward spiral. Even though I knew it, I couldn't stop it. I had to force myself to change my mindset. I wasn't very motivated to do so, but I got ready and went downstairs. I should eat breakfast, even if I'm not hungry. I didn't eat dinner last night, so Tomase and some others might be worried about me. While I went down the stairs, I heard voices. Tomase, Haiji, Akase, Gyobu, and Iochi were talking about things in the living room with sharp tones.
いい加減漢字くらい自分で読めるように勉強したらどうなんだ。お前もキャストの一人だろ。
万丈、その言い方はないだろう。ハイジはまだ小学生なんだぞ。
自分の命がかかってるんですよ。いつまでも他人に頼っているのはおかしい。台本くらい一人で読めるようにならないと。
I must say, he's doing his best.
僕、国語はあまり得意じゃなくて、どうやったら読めるようになるの？
わからない漢字は辞書で調べるとか、本を読むとか、それくらい自分で考えろ。
ハイジ、読めない字があったら俺に言えよ。意味も含めて教えてやるからさ。その方が記憶に残ると思う。
Has Haiji been understanding our messages? Good question. I guess we haven't been saying anything particularly complicated, right?
ありがとう。
そうやって甘やかすから、いつまで経っても他人におんぶに抱っこなんですよ。
Tomase, he's 12! Be nicer!
日和が罰ゲームを受けた時だって、相手がこいつでなければ、もっと。
Tomase. As my voice reached his ears, he stopped. He looked surprised as I entered the living room. If you're talking about me, do it when I'm here. So, what are you talking about?
それは。
Tomase looked awkward at this situation. It was Gyobu who spoke up instead.
でもさ、ともくんがそう言いたくなる気持ち、僕はわかるな。だって、ハイジ君は怪しいもん。ね
怪しいという
だっていつも口数少ないし、この世界についても不安があったり怖がったりもしてないし、小学生らしくない。
I'm assuming that it was a message, not us actually speaking again. I'm gonna just make that assumption.
それにキャストとして選ばれるには若すぎるよ。なんで一人だけ小学生なの？小学生って嘘なんじゃないの？
I mean, you're not saying anything I haven't thought about myself, Gyobu, but
あ、それとも実はプロデューサーだったりする？
勝負。
before I could send a message, Akase was the one who raised his voice in anger.
いい加減にしろよ。ハイジが反論できないからって好き放題言い過ぎだ。お前が言ってるのは全部状況証拠だけだろ。俺だってお前だって怪しいことに変わりはないはずだ。
まあそうだけどさ。
若すぎるってのも 根拠としては弱いね。キャストの選別がプロデューサーの指名によるものなら、その基準はまだ不明だし、キャストの多くが高校生だけれど、そういう意味では僕もこの中じゃ一番年上だ。年齢が離れすぎる。違う？
How old are you, Yoichi? I mean, because what, we have someone who's 23, so Yoichi must be more than that.
ただ、ハイジ君はもう少し自分の意見を言えるようになった方がいいかもね。今の調子じゃ潰されかねないよ。
俺は潰そうと思って言ったわけじゃ。
同じことだろ。もうちょっと仲良くしようぜ。ハイジも年上だからって遠慮すんな。言われたら言い返していいんだからな。
Conversation ended ambiguously there. Tomase returned to his room awkwardly, and Akase went out after breakfast. Gyobu had just stayed up all night, so he went to sleep after eating. Haiji, Iochi, and I were left in the living room. Tomase is probably blaming Haiji since I took the punishment game. Otherwise he wouldn't be so firm about it. I've been friends with Tomase since childhood. If I died, then I'm sure it would hurt Tomase. Tomase isn't the kind that would feel nothing if his childhood friend dies. People often misunderstand him, but I know that he's kind, and he's always trying his best. That's why I felt like he'd decided to blame others. It was just a way to protect me. I'm happy that he's so worried about me, but that's not a valid reason to attack others. If the reason he acted that way was me, then I was also sure there was a solution. If I get my voice back, I'm sure that Tomase will be back to normal. I should research if there is a way to get it back, or if I can negotiate with the director.
こんなに怒られると思わなかった。僕、もっと勉強しなきゃダメだね。
Haiji looked sad when he said that. He hugged a cushion. I felt pity and sat down next to him. Haiji, considering the situation, everyone is irritated. Don't let it bother you too much.
セナ君の言う通りだね。この分じゃ我々の異世界生活はまだまだ続く。もっとのんびり構えないと。
エバナお兄ちゃんみたいに？
あれはなんだろうな。のんびりしてるわけじゃないんだろうけど、ついこだわってしまうんだろうね。
Ebana is? Haiji and Iochi looked towards the kitchen as if to suggest something. I then heard cooking sounds from far away that I didn't notice before. Speaking of which, where is the cooking team? I didn't think about breakfast or anything.
今日の朝食ならエバナ君が作ってくれたから大丈夫だよ。セナ君ももらってきたら。
Oh, really? I answered with that and stood up. They said that the food wasn't fake, but considering it was Ivana who made it, it feels completely different. Maybe it is just a matter of perception. I can't not eat forever. Although I still don't have an appetite, I hesitantly went to the kitchen. I came across Abana who was coming out of the kitchen while sighing. You know, I thought the kitchen was to the left. I didn't think it was in the direction of the stairs.
どうしたの？ため。
ここのオーブンはなんで旧型なのかと。最新型なら焼きムラなんてできないのに。
ポイントを貯めてご褒美に頼めば？
やっぱりそれしかないのか。
Abana wants a more modern oven. Why an oven? What are you baking?
別にいいだろ。ほっとけ。
He's unfriendly as usual. Abana, is there any breakfast left? I'd like to have some. I'm not sure if I can still eat, so maybe just a little bit?
残ってるが、もうちょっと早く起きろよ。都度温め直すのも面倒なんだ。
Right? It's like, Abana, it's just a little bit more work. You don't need a fancy pants oven. My oven's ridiculously old, I think. I don't actually know how old the oven in this house is, but it's definitely old. It works fine. Right. Sorry. I was going to do it myself, but he's reheating it for me. Ah, the kitchen is behind the stairs, huh? Oh, right, so it's past the stairs and then left. So it's sort of behind the bit with the TV. Got it. I understand. I followed Abana while he was mumbling to himself, and I saw a pile of cookies at the side of the kitchen. Aww! There's some shaped like teddy bears and some shaped like the Watcher. And some that are just the basic two-colour square things. Well, it's not exactly basic because it's two different doughs, but... Oh, those cookies look nice. I think I have an appetite now. Abana, whose cookies are those? And on a related note, whose cookies did we steal last time? Also, that is a very neatly cut piece of baking parchment.
別に誰のというわけでもないと思うが。
Then, can I have some? I actually don't have much of an appetite, but I think I can eat a few cookies.
は？朝飯は？
While he's reheating breakfast for you, Senna. Can I eat it for lunch? I know you just reheated it just now.
それはいいが、朝飯は食え。力出ないだろうが。
Huh? I thought he was going to tell me off or something. I know, but I thought I could eat a little bit of a food that I like.
汁物くらいは食えるんじゃないのか？それか野菜類とか。
He was persistent, but I really didn't have an appetite. I didn't know what to say. Abana then tutted at me irritably.
ち！昼は食えよ。
I've never heard someone tut at me that loudly.
おや、クッキーだね。お茶も用意してくれたんだ。
まあ、一応。
美味しそう。いただきます。
いや、いいね。エバナ君は場の空気を凍らせる天才だと思っていたけど、ここ数日で認識を改めたよ。
認識なんて改める必要ないでしょ。俺はキャスト同士仲良くやろうなんていうやつは仲良く手をつないで死ねって思ってますし。
Wow! Yeah. Also, we're clearly now on our branch with the cooking group, right? I wonder if... No, it still doesn't look like we're going to get any information on affection levels. Nothing new has appeared.
それは言い過ぎ。うん、これ美味しい。何味？アイス？
I mean, also, we can't access the flowchart from here either. Yeah, we did choose that branch, but now we're definitely down it, I think. We were still definitely common route before. Because while I can't see the flowchart from here, you can see it from the title page. So I have actually stuck my nose into it.
アイス味なんてあるわけないだろう。バタースコッチ風味のクッキーだ。
Butterscotch, huh? Maybe I'll have to show you the flowchart later. I mean, I could probably do it now, but no, let's not. Although I do actually want to know if this is marked as... Sorry, I'm intrigued now. I want to know. I want to know what it says. Okay, wait, it still says common route when we save. There we go. Ah, right, there you go. So it says common route cooking team now. Whereas my save last time just said common route. So now we're specifically on the cooking team's part of the common route. As of the start of chapter 6, probably. There you go. Don't even need to go look at the flowchart. It really is delicious, but I like ones with nuts in it better. Okay, I don't agree with you there, Sana.
考えてみれば、ここにいる4人は調理班だ。同じ班の仲間同士、一緒にお茶でもして仲良くしようじゃないか。ね、エヴァナ君。
はあ？
死ねっていう目で見てくるのやめてくれないかな。
I think Iochi is right here. It'll be difficult to cook together if we're at each other's throats.
僕も仲良くしたい。料理教えてほしい。
I think I've definitely had cookies with pieces of nuts in them. I suppose it's better than cake with pieces of nuts in it, because that's just too much of a change in texture for me. Cakes with nuts is just no thank you. Nope.
Ma, わからなくもないが。
Wait, did I actually say that last line? No, that was Haiji, so that's fine. No. In truth, I don't want things to be so hostile. I don't want to suspect Haiji because he's younger, and I want to at least trust the people here. What about ice cream with nuts? With nuts as a topping, I definitely have no problem with that. I like... I like a cornetto. But it might be weird to encounter nuts in the middle of it. I don't know. Then again, it's like I'm kind of used to ice cream having things in it, I guess. So speaking of ice cream, this week I found they do cream egg ice creams now. So it's, you know, in the sort of cornetto-like style, but it's got like cream egg syrup in it. And it's really nice. I think they also had it in like ice cream tubs and in this sort of magnum type shape as well. It was very tasty. Fair drag. There's a lot of things that put me off eating them as well. So. Yeah. Now I think about it, cream egg ice cream is kind of strange. Because you're sort of taking something that's very much a spring thing, the cream egg, and something that's very much a summer thing, the ice cream. I wonder if the cream egg ice cream will be available later into the year than the actual cream eggs. I'm sure that's a question that I'll find the answer out to.
しかし疑い合い、歪み合い。こんな状況でこれまでのキャストはどうしてたんだろうね。これじゃあ協力してドラマを演じるなんて無理な話だろう。
これくらいマシな方でしょう。これまでがお花畑すぎたんだ。
だからみんな死んじゃったの？これまでのキャストいっぱい死んじゃったって言ってたよね。
Neiji's statement caused everyone there to become quiet. Is that what it means? Is that how everyone arrived at the dead end and died? In this other world, without anyone believing in them? The atmosphere felt suffocating, but it was Yoichi who spoke up first.
あのさ、君たちは異世界配信のバックナンバーを見たことがある？
そりゃ、まあ、多少。
僕は見たことない。
I watched some when doing some research. What about the past episodes?
これまでの配信でも罰ゲームを受けたキャストはたくさんいるから参考になるんじゃないかと思ったんだ。このバックナンバー時系列でもないし調べにくいんだよ。できれば前回のキャストのドラマが見たいのに。
I think that's right. When I watched it, I had no idea which drama and from when it was.
だから今バックナンバーを整理してるんだ。ディレクターは言ってなかったけど中には帰還したキャストがいるかもしれないし罰ゲームで失ったものを取り返したキャストもいるかもしれない。これはただの希望的観測だけど。
If there is precedent, that would mean I might be able to get my voice back.
その通り。希望は忘れないでいたいね。
お姉ちゃんの声戻るかもしれないの？
まだわからないけどね。 もう少し時間をもらえるかな。もちろん声が出ないと不利だから急ぐけれど。
Is there anything I can do?
そうだな。思いついたら声をかけるよ。
I'm sorry, and thank you.
どういたしまして。それにしても美味しいクッキーだね。
I was thinking the same thing, so I nodded. It wasn't in uniform shapes because it was handmade, but it was crunchy and fragrant. I said I didn't have an appetite, but I can eat this. Did someone ask Watcher for it?
誰か？あ、これエバナお兄ちゃんの手作りだよね。
It's definitely made by Ivana.
え？
は？
店で売られているものだと思ったが、まさかこれをエバナ君が？そうか、だからオーブンの話をしてたのか。
いや、それは違います。ハイジ、お前、何の根拠があってそんな。
Oh, he definitely made it.
だって昨日の夜焼いてたでしょ。いい匂いがしてたからリビングに行ったらエバナお兄ちゃんがキッチンにいたの見えた。
へえ、このクッキーをエバナ君が。
The one earlier was in the shape of a bear. Did Ivana make that too?
全部そうだと思うけど、たくさん焼いてたもんね。
I wonder if he handles stress by baking.
そこまでしてクッキーを焼きたかったとは知らなかったな。君は意外性の塊だね。
俺がどんな趣味を持っていようが勝手でしょう。バカにするなら食べなくていいんですよ。
Look at his face.
バカになんかしていないよ。すごく美味しいクッキーだ。
There's so many different shapes too. You clearly put so much effort into this. Because, like, I doubt there are Watcher-shaped cookie cutters in that kitchen. In the last VN, you played one of the main characters baked a load of gyoza when they got angry and annoyed. I mean, it is a hobby that can be de-stressing. So, I mean, it works, right? Banner, you're so good at dessert making too. I guess you wouldn't even need my help.
こういうのをなんて言うんだっけ。女子力だっけ。
ずいぶん古い言葉を知ってるな。でもエバナ君は女子というかお母さんだよね。
ああ、うるさいうるさい。茶化すならこのクッキーは没収だ。
No, the cookies! Mom, don't confiscate the cookies.
ごめんごめん、もう言わないよ。お母さんは封印。おばあちゃんはどうかな。
ああ、
冗談だよ。照れながら切れるとは器用だね、君は。
Although that malice was directed at Iochi, Ipana changed his mind and put the cookies back on the table. It really is delicious, so there's no need to be embarrassed. Can you teach me how to make them?
嫌だ。自分で調べろ。
Boo. I think we need to poke a bit more to properly find his squishy center. I'll just watch you do it. Can you make it again?
嫌だって言っただろ。少しはへこめよお前は。
エバナ君のツンデレにもなんだか慣れてきたよね。
怒るのが好きなんだよね。いっぱい怒っていいよ。僕気にしないから。
Yeah, cutting them into nice shapes is definitely the more difficult part of things, right? And like decorating. I feel those are the more difficult parts. Making it pretty. I thought he would flip out again, but Habana just heaved a sigh and turned back to normal.
調理班の次の作業は夕飯です。昼食はもう仕込みが終わってるから。夕飯までにメニューを決めて食材を頼めばいい。
おお、切り替えたね。
じゃ、俺はもう部屋に戻るので。
もうちょっとゆっくりしていきなよ。毎回全員で作業するのもなんだし、2、3人でローテーションした方がいいよね。
僕はどっちでもいい。あ、でもみんなで作るのも楽しそう。
俺は一人でいいんですが。
While we were talking about that, I sent a message to everyone about something I noticed. Now that I think about it, where did the ingredients come from? And as if expected, everyone looks at me with a surprised expression. Yesterday, the Watcher said that the food brought in were all real. If they're real, then where are they brought from? From what we saw of the scenery during maintenance, this place is surrounded by walls, and the area looked like ruins.
ああ、そういえばそうだね。とても畑なんかがあるとは思えなかったな。どんな食材でも用意はできるようだったし。
Maybe they have like a food printer. That's surely technology they'll have by... When was it again? 2100 or so?
I 感謝に聞いてみればいい。自分で出してるんだから知ってるだろ。
I realized he's right, so I tried. Watcher, where are the ingredients brought from? Is it brought from somewhere in other world?
大元はあなた方のいた世界から調達しています。異世界に本来食材は存在しません。
Once again, that is a concerning way to word that, Watcher. The originals are procured from the world you are from. Concerning. I felt relieved upon hearing that. Did you? It just gave me more questions, sir.
食感も匂いも味も問題なかったわけだから、実は偽物でしたとはそうそうならないだろ
う。じゃあ、外から調達してるというのはどこから持ってきてるんだ？何か通用口があるとか？
リクエスト受理できません。
Yeah, to be expected.
またそれか。じゃあ別の切り口で質問を。
次はカップケーキが食べたいな。
は？
え？
Cupcakes?
クッキーが作れるならカップケーキも作れるかなって。 作れる？
I mean, it depends how fancy you want them to be. Haiji.
何味の？
やっぱり作れるんだ。なんでもいいよ。ふわふわのやつが食べたい。
いや、今のは聞いてみただけで。
The topic got shifted.
ハイジ君のリクエストだけ答えるのはずるいよね。僕はアップルパイがいいな。
答えるなんて言ってないでしょう。知りませんよ。
Fighting over making what kind of sweets reminds me of my younger siblings. I was laughing by myself and Haiji poked me on the elbow.
お姉ちゃんは？
Huh? Me?
そうだよ。君もしっかりリクエストしておくといい。彼は僕らのお母さんなんだからね。
そのネタ、さっき封印と言ってませんでしたか？
おっといけない。心にもないことでごまかしちゃダメだね。これからも君をこう呼ばせてもらうよ。エヴァなお母さん。
イオチさんが年上でよかったです。手が出かけたところ冷静になれたので。
Your clenched fist is shaking hard. Are you sure you're calm?
エヴァナ君は妙なところ真面目だよね。これからも年上という立場を存分に利用させてもらうね。
これからもずっと冷静だとは言ってません。
ひどいな。君は女性を殴るつもりなの？
え？
あれ？イオチさんはお姉さんなの？
You are?
いや、そうだったらどうするのかなって聞いてみただけ。だったらどうする？
もうどっちでもいいので殴っていいですか？
Man, this group's got such a great dynamic.
別にいいけど優しくしてね。
この人は。
それでお姉ちゃんはどうするの？お菓子のリクエスト。
He's asking me this now? My mind was drawing a blank right now, so I could only come up with simple answers for requests to make. I don't mind as long as we can share it. Cupcakes would probably be good. Hannah then got even more irritated at that and spat out the next words.
なんで作る流れになってるんだ。リクエストに答えるなんて言ってないだろ。
作るの好きなんじゃないの？僕カップケーキ楽しみにしてるよ。
好きなんて言ってないだろ。知らん。
女の子のお願いを無視する気かい？お母さんは撤回し、今度から血も涙もないメガネ君と呼ぼう。
また変なあだ名を。わかりましたよ。ケーキくらいなら作ってもいいですが、アップルパイは却下です。
なんで？
イオチさんが本気でうざいから。
傷ついたな。ひどいと思わないかい、セナ君。
I can understand that you're angry, but it's not right to call Iochi annoying. I mean, isn't it? Nah, I love Iochi.
だよね。
だよね。
なんなんすか、3人で固まって。
こっちに入りたかったらアップルパイ作って。
結局それですか。わかりましたよ。 そのうちでいいなら。
Oh, so he's still going to make it. I concluded that Ivana isn't all that scary of a person. That day, I was relieved to see that I was not called into a drama to participate. Everyone on the cooking team was lively. I went to bed in a much lighter mood. You like apple pies, do you, Drag? I'm not sure if I do. They're one of the foods that I look at it and I'm like, the way that looks makes me feel like I don't want to deal with that texture. You know? I should really actually try one. I should try making an apple pie, really. I mean, the garden grows cooking apples. I should really actually just make one. Maybe I will this year. We talked about what sweets to make and the requests. Maybe it's because I thought of my home. My mother wasn't always around on weekends, so I'd be the one making snacks for me and my siblings. They'd fight over what I'd make. One would want flan, another wants cheesecake, and then it's cream puffs or sometimes even potato chips. Thinking about it made me laugh. We were having the same kind of arguments here. When I laughed, I realized something. Oh, right. I finally figured out the reason why my mind drew a blank when asked for a request. I'm always fielding requests, but this might be the first time someone asked me what I want. I thought of that while I fell asleep. During the morning of that day, I was doing research in my room. Iochi was supposedly going to organise the past episodes, but I thought about whether I could research something on my own. But there was no dramas that could provide hints. I sighed a little, thinking about what to do next, but then I heard someone at my door. I wondered who it was and opened it to find Haiji there.
セナお姉ちゃん、ちょっと来て。
Haiji grabbed my arm and took me downstairs before I could say anything. I didn't have time to type out my message as I arrived in the living room. That's when he finally said something.
エバナお兄ちゃんがカップケーキ作ってくれたんだ。
Cupcakes! Let me see the cakes.
いらっしゃい。
Why? Ugh. I smelled freshly baked cakes in the living room.
ほら、カップケーキ。いろんな種類があるんだよ。
Haiji pointed at the table with many kinds of small cupcakes. A whole load of different kinds. Ebana, that's a whole lot more work than just making a lot of the same kind. Oh, and they're beautifully decorated as well. The decorations were all elaborate over the fluffy dough with fresh cream and berries. One with chocolate coating and silver jaggies. One with a chestnut in the Mont Blanc style. A matcha cake with red bean and more. Yeah, it's like the others could all be the same flavor, but the matcha one is like entirely different. You really put a lot of work into this, Savannah. What's this? I was so surprised that I didn't know what other message to send. Yeah, right? Even at fancy tea parties, yeah, you'd at the very least get a bunch of one type and a bunch of another type, not just like every single cupcake is different. That's... Dude, that is a lot of work.
うるせえ。ハイジ、なんでわざわざそいつまで呼んでくるんだ。うるさいやつを増やすな。
だってお姉ちゃんもケーキがいいって言ってたじゃない。なんでダメなの？
そうだよ。彼女はきっと驚いて言葉が出てこないだけだよ。
女は嫌いなんです。いちいち絡みたくない。
What? Really?
じゃあ僕は男だって思ってるんだ。あ、そっか。そんなに僕って男らしかったか。
料理してるときは男の人かなって思う。かぼちゃ真っ二つにしてたし。
How big are Japanese pumpkins? I feel like I need an answer to that right now. Like sort of a medium-sized pumpkin, so yeah, chopping that in half in one slice is, well, I suppose it depends how sharp the knife is, but, impressive. Right. Haiji's statement caused the banner to nod in agreement.
そうだったっけ?
Why do you hate girls? Or do you not want to talk about it?
しつこく理由を尋ねるつもりなら、今後一切会話はしない。
そんな言い方しなくても、答えたくないって言えば、瀬名君はしつこく聞いたりしないよ。ね。
Senna might not be persistent, but I want to keep poking him. The urge to poke the tsundere who claims he doesn't like girls enough to expose the soft and squishy center. Right, I won't ask.
それよりカップケーキ食べていい？どれから食べよう？
そうそう、本来はカップケーキだ。みんなで分けやすいミニサイズだし、リクエストにしっかり答えてくれたね。
Yoichi is right. There are many kinds and quantities, so there's no need to fight over any of it. Hibana perfectly fulfilled all of our requests, in my opinion. He says he hates girls, but it doesn't change how he still went and made these. Thank you, Hibana. They all look so cute and delicious. Nope. Wrong button. I decided to interact with him as I always have and sent him that message.
約束だったからな。不本意だが。
女の子は苦手でも約束は守る。
それは別に。
おいしい。お兄ちゃんもお姉ちゃんも一緒に座って食べようよ。ほら、ここ。
Haiji and Iochi held my hand and sat me down, right next to Urbana too. He moved away to keep his distance. So it's not that he hates me so much that he doesn't want to be in the same space. But I'll try not to get too close. This has happened before.
こっちも美味しい。このピカピカ光ってるのは食べられるの？
それはアラザンだから食える。食べたことないのか？
多分。本当だ。甘い。
It's all so delicious. I'm in paradise here.
手軽な幸福だな。
セナ君とハイジ君は甘いものが好きみたいだね。僕も比較的好きな方ではあるけれど。
好きにしても限度があるでしょう。よくそんなに次々と食えるな。セナもハイジも。舌がおかしいんじゃないか？
It's a nice Urbana.
エバナお兄ちゃんが作ったのに。
So, you don't like sweets that much, but you still made it for us? Oh, he ignored me there.
あれ？これは何のパーティー？
ギョーブ君、おはよう。パーティーというわけじゃないんだけれどね。楽しい親睦会というところかな。
へえ、それって僕が参加しても平気なやつ？それとも他人の懐を遠慮なしに探っちゃう人間はお断りかな？
I remembered what he said last time, making me stop. Kyobu had asked questions since he suspected Haiji for being the producer.
それを言わなければどんどん参加してくれてよかったのにね。
じゃあやっぱりお断りってこと？そんなことないよ。みんなのために作ったんだよね、エバナお兄ちゃん。
え？
行坊お兄ちゃんは何がいい？たくさん種類があるんだよ。これ全部エバナお兄ちゃんが作ったんだ。へえ、すごいね。じゃあこの抹茶っぽいのいただきます。
Haiji doesn't seem to mind at all. He's talking to Kyobu normally.
ああ、会話止めちゃってごめんね。何の話してたの？僕も混ぜてよ。
大した話じゃない。ただの雑談だよ。君は何か用事があってリビングに降りてきたんじゃないの？
別に。暇だったから降りてきただけ。これ美味しいね。今度桜餅作ってよ。
More requests.
はあ？なんで桜餅なんだよ。
好きだから。
季節を考えろよ、季節を。今は夏だぞ。
この世界で季節とか関係あるの？
Oh, now that I think about it, do we not have to care about what vegetables are in season?
外の世界から食材を調達してるなら気にするべきだろ。旬は大事だ。
旬？
旬がわからないのかい？旬っていうのは一言で言うとその食べ物が美味しい季節のことで。
Yoichi started explaining it, and Kyobu was snickering next to them. What a weird way to laugh. It feels hostile in a way.
何がおかしいのかな？
いや 仲良くなったんだなって思って。この班は楽しそうでいいよね。
I do have to say, Yobu is kind of sus. Like, I'm not sure who I'm most suspicious of at the moment, but he's definitely close to the top of that list. Yobu, is there something you don't like? You always make these suggestive statements.
ああ、違う違う。そういうんじゃないってば。ただ、これから僕が言おうと思っていた情報を知ったら、どんな顔をするのかなって。
情報？
言っとくけど、これは善意の情報だからね。この間ギスギスさせちゃったから、お詫びの意味を込めて情報提供。
Yobu looked around to confirm that everyone has quieted down before continuing.
異世界配信の過去のキャストの中に、元の世界へ帰還した人がいるみたいだよって話。
は？
帰還したキャストがいる？
We became quiet again. Seeing how Gyobu wasn't denying it, I tapped my display with a shaky hand. But the director said there are no cast members who've returned. Technically, didn't he say before they made the visual changes there wasn't? Right?
その言葉にもちゃんと前置きがあったはずだよ。アップグレード以前の状況下では、キャスト失格が続出してたって。
そうか。仕様変更前の異世界配信では帰還したキャストがいなかった。けれど、仕様変更後は？
そう。帰還したキャストがいるかもしれないよね。でもってもう一度キャストになってたりして。
So people can be chosen more than once. Huh? They became cast members again?
まさか死の危険を冒してまでかい？何を根拠にそんなことを？
理由はいくらでもあるんじゃないの？わかんないけどさ。
大事なことだ。ふざけないでちゃんと答えてくれ。
ふざけてないよ。真面目でもないかもしれないけど。
Yoichi and I wouldn't back down, so Gyobu started to let his eyes wander off to Abana and Haiji. He then smiled and waved.
それだけ伝えたかったんだ。信じる信じないはご自由に。もう一個ケーキもらってくね。ああ、そうだ。そのバウンサーって結構使えるやつでさ、何でも聞けば答えてくれるよ。声を取り戻す方法も案外聞けば教えてくれるかもね。
Even Yoichi went quiet with that. Abana and Haiji had stopped talking midway in the conversation. He just caused trouble here and left.
聞いてみたらどうだ？帰還したキャストの話はともかく、セナの声については緊急性があるでしょ。バウンサーが答えてくれるというのなら。
そうだね。聞いてみよう。もしもし、監視者くん。質問したいんだけど。
ご質問にお答えします。
罰ゲームで失った体の機能っていうのは取り戻す方法があるのかな？
あります。該当の罰ゲームを受けた際のドラマを再演することです。
You have to do the drama that caused you to lose it. Huh.
それって僕とセナお姉ちゃんが出てたドラマのこと？
その通りです。罰ゲームを受けた際、ドラマの出演を拒否、 あるいは演技を中断しているはずです。そのドラマに罰ゲームを受けたキャストが再度出演し、最後まで演じきることができれば罰ゲームは白紙に戻されます。
そうだったのか。再演し、ちゃんと演じられれば声の機能は戻ってくる。なるほど。
Yeah, but then we're still on the do I really want to push Haiji out of a window?
声を取り戻す方法が分かってよかったね、お姉ちゃん。
But that means...
それが簡単にできることなら最初から罰ゲームなんて受けてないんじゃないか。
That's exactly right. Even though I know how, I can't be happy about this. I took the punishment game because I couldn't bring myself to push Haiji out the window. It's not that I didn't regret it, but when I remember Haiji hugging me then...
ありがとう。僕、誰かからそんな風に心配されたの初めてだよ。
I'm guessing it would be a request, but I'm not sure. My regret dissipated. I will not reenact it. I will try to find another way to get my voice back.
しないの？なんで？
Because I can't. And they said I'll get my voice back when we return to our world, so it's fine.
でも不便じゃない？声が出ないとちゃんとドラマができないよ。
I'll manage. Tomose said that he'll also help me out.
でも、もう一度演じればいいだけなんだよ。怪我もすぐ治るから大丈夫。僕、怖くないよ。あ、もしかしてドラマの後に言ったことを気にしてる？それなら忘れていいよ。セナお姉ちゃんが僕のことを心配してくれたってだけで僕は十分嬉しかったから。
Normally, Haiji is quieter, but his numerous questions made me stop tapping my display. It's the first time I saw Haiji be this talkative. That doesn't change how I feel. I still don't regret my decision of not pushing you out the window, Haiji. Haiji, you're like a little brother to me. Hurting my own little brother would make me a terrible sister. I can't do that. So, thank you for letting me know that. But I can't reenact that part.
僕が突き落としてほしいと言っても？
Yeah, sorry.
わかった。でも、もし気が変わったらいつでも言ってね。
I nodded back in response. I could tell that Haiji was worried about me. It was just my ego getting in the way of not wanting to hurt Haiji. Part of me was also worried of what the results would be if I hurt someone. Or maybe I was just being stubborn. Either way, if I did push Haiji out there, what could result from that is I could pass the point of no return. That's how it feels to me. A faint coldness that I couldn't describe seemed to be waiting for me ahead. That's the feeling I had.
ねえ、今度はプリンがいい。
It's request time again.
はあ？お前ふざけてんのか？
その前に僕のアップルパイだね。リンゴたっぷりでお願いするよ。
Yubu mentioned it too, but this team sure is friendly. that's the end of that. I cleaned up the kitchen after the meal. It looked nice. I didn't think Abana would have any complaints if he saw this. My job as part of the team was done, so the rest was free time. But I didn't think it was right to just relax. I don't know when they'll summon me for the drama, so I'd better think about what to do about my voice. That, or figure out how to get points faster so I can get out of here. Some people made it back, so I can use that as a reference. Right. There are people who returned. I remembered what Gyobu said.
そう、帰還したキャストがいるかもしれないよね。でもってもう一度キャストになってたりして。
Huh? They became cast members again?
まさか死の危険を冒してまでかい。何を根拠にそんなことを。
理由はいくらでもあるんじゃないの？わかんないけどさ。
There are former cast members among us? As Yoichi said, it's unbelievable that someone would return to the Otherworld stream at the risk of their lives. But what was the reason that made Gyobu say that? And if that were true? What if among us 10, there's someone who is participating in the Otherworld stream for the second time? Were they lying that it was their first time in being in the Otherworld stream? But for what reason? Assuming that they were lying, that would mean that person isn't the producer. If it is their second time, then they might know a lot and can become a powerful ally. But as long as they don't come forward, we don't know who they are. I sigh and then decided to stop thinking about the repeat participants. It's all guesses at this point, so I wouldn't know unless I gather more information. Then how about I go outside to investigate? But if I meet the Arcadians... I remembered those muddy creatures that I had pushed to the back of my mind. But strangely, I remained calm and I seemed to be regaining a bit of courage. I wonder why. Maybe it's because everyone in my team is so cheerful. Even though I knew that they were like that inside, I still interacted with the same Arcadians in the same way. They don't attack me, so if I stay afraid and refuse to go outside, that would delay my ability to return to my world. Yeah, I have to go back to my world. If I don't do the reenactment, that's all the more reason. If I remain afraid of everything and refuse, I can never make progress. Which fear do I prioritize? In that case, I know the answer already. Ooh, to the park, to the library, or rest and then leave. Library for research or park to try and talk to people. Library, I think. I forgot that I can't quick save within these choices. Library. I tried to motivate myself, but I'm scared of meeting the Arcadians so suddenly. So I'll go to the library. That place should be deserted. Yeah, it does feel like a root affection choice, right? Which is why I'm like, damn it, I can't quick save. I should try to get used to it little by little. And if I can research how to accumulate more points and get my voice back, were many past episodes of the Otherworld stream stored at the library. There was one thing in particular I wanted to find out through those past episodes. Gyobu said there were cast members that returned from the Otherworld stream. If that's true, then there should be dramas with them in it that I can use for reference. I went to the shelf that held them, but found them out on the table instead. Yoichi had already gotten a head start, it seems. They were taking a lot of notes. Yes, I did mostly go to the library because I was like, Yoichi will be in the library. Because Yoichi is doing research. Yoichi, are you looking into the past episodes?
ああ、こんなところで会うとは奇遇だね。そう、バックナンバーの総量を調べてたんだ。
Total count?
バングルからもバックナンバーを見られることは知っているね。どこからでもアクセスできるわけだけど。でも、大元のデータは図書館にあるものなんだ。一部のデータはここでしか見られないんだけど。この間も言った通り整理されていなくてね。
Oh, really?
今とりあえずデータの総量を調べてどこまで整理が必要か検討をつけていた。ある程度は省かないと時間が足りないからね。
I see.
ただそれを調べている途中で気になる資料を発見して。
I wonder what it is. Yoichi handed me the tablet that said borrowed name list on it.
それはバングルからは見られないデータだ。内容も今の君には重要だと思うから見て。少しショッキングかもしれないけど。
Does this suggest that some people here aren't using their real names? Or... That piqued my interest, so I tapped my display to check it. As the title suggested, the screen showed the names of people. Name, age, sex, punishment game, cast number, dead end. I gasped and flipped through the pages. 10 pages, 20 pages. So many people listed along with their information. But each of them were overwritten with the phrase dead end. I felt a shiver down my spine and I continued through the pages. Yoichi, is this?
過去に罰ゲームを受けた人たちの名簿みたいだね。これを見れば彼らがどんな罰ゲームを受けてきたかわかるというわけだ。
I sighed. I thought I saw 20 pages of it, but there were still so many more. How many people took these punishments and died later? And this punishment game, it's not just body parts, but so much more. The examples I see here are... Oh! Oh. Okay. Interesting. These are some very different things. Right leg, vision, memory, gender. I can quick save. Right. I mean, this makes me question things, Yoichi. This makes me question things. I need to know, okay? Gender? How do you take that away? So, you become neither a man or a woman? Wait. Neither a man nor a woman. I look up and saw Ryochi. Ryochi was looking at the name list from the other side, and our eyes met. It was met with a smile.
どうしたの?
No, it's nothing.
そうその名簿もうすぐ終わりだね
Ryochi said the name list would be finished in 5 pages.
後ろに行くにつれてキャストナンバーがどんどん増えていってるねということは配信順に並んでいるのかなだとしたら最後に載っているのは
Ryochi didn't say the rest of that. I slid the screen to show the final page. No, it should have shown.
なんだデータが壊れてるのかな表示されないね
Ryochi reached out and started tapping at the display in my place, but the results were still the same.
おかしいななんで見られないんだろうここが最終ページのはずだもん
If this page showed, we should have been able to see the cast members who participated in the last stream, right? Well, yeah, it says it's corrupted, but is it actually corrupted, or does it just say that, you know? Is there just some information there they don't want us to know?
その通りだよ罰ゲームを受けた人間だけになるけれどそれでも十分な情報になるはずだったでこれは誰かによって消されたプロデューサーかなそれとも
After thinking a little bit, Ryochi looked up, exasperated.
そう簡単に真実は手に入らないってことだね残念だけど仕方がない別の方法で答えに迫ろう
I nodded to that.
しかしここまでのページは全ての人間がデッドエンドになっているということは帰還できたのは前回だけ
How about asking that question to Watcher?
そういえばおい監視者くん質問だよ
ご質問にお答えします。
前回の参加者は元の世界へ戻れたのそして今回のキャストの中に紛れ込んでいたりする
前回参加者についてはロックがかかっています。しかし帰還したかだけはお答えできます。前回参加者は帰還しています。
A lock applied, so yeah, it is deliberate.
じゃあそれ以前のキャストは
全員デッドエンドとなっています。
いい答えではないけれど予想通りだ
Knowing that they all died feels terrible, even if they are strangers. But there's still some hope. So the previous participants were able to return to their world.
これは重要な情報だね後で共有しておこう
I thought about the page in the name list that wouldn't show as I wrote out this message. The previous participants also took the punishment game, right? What sorts of punishments do you think they took?
彼らの場合罰ゲームを受けたまま帰還したら失われた機能はそのままだと言っていたね
Oh, I think I do remember hearing that.
君が罰ゲームを受けた時ディレクターはそう説明していたからね今回からはルールを変えたと
Yeah. That makes me question things, Yoshi. Wait. Isn't there someone who was having difficulties with one of their arms as well? Who was that? Was it a Cassie? I don't remember. And like clearly one of those options back then was memory as well. So like, could someone be participating for the second time without knowing that they are? Could it take away your age? Maybe. Or like, I mean, that could be a case of taking away memory if we're thinking about Haiji and how he doesn't look like a 12-year-old. Like, what if the punishment game had taken away, like, 4 years of memories or something along that, around that amount? So, like, you'd think you were that age. Then, for example, if Iochi was a previous participant, and Iochi returned to the world with their sex still lost, and now Iochi is back again as a cast member to regain it, is that possible? If it's that important, then it's a valid reason to become a cast member again, even at the risk of your life. But if that were true, it means that Iochi has been lying to us about how this is their first time participating. That would mean that Iochi is pretending to not understand, and is just waiting for the right time to undo the punishment game. But even if Iochi is lying about that, that's also proof that Iochi isn't the producer, and also not our enemy. That means Iochi isn't doing anything wrong. I tried to think about these things, and apparently I was staring at Iochi. They poked my cheek with their index finger. I'm sorry.
答えが違うよ。何を考えていたのかな？僕には教えたくない？
Maybe I should ask about it. But even if I don't know Iochi's gender identity, it's a weird question to ask. Yeah, it's rude. I should hold off until I find a better way to ask. I thought about how I could play it off, but Iochi, who had been sitting across from me, circled around to sit next to me.
どうしても言えない？すごく気になるんだけど。
Iochi seems to be enjoying this. Why? Iochi came even closer to me. It started to make me nervous.
そうか、言えないのか。ならしょうがないね。代わりに僕の質問に答えてもらえる？
Sure, anything. I thought I would be able to get out of this risky situation, but then Iochi grinned.
君がもし前回参加者で罰ゲームを受けて大切なものを失っていた。君はもう一度キャストになろうと思うかな？例えば君はポイントを貯めて元の世界へ帰れたけれど声は出ないままだ。 このままだと一生声は出ない。そんな状況に陥ったら君ならどうする？
I still had no voice and returned to my original world. Oh, that's a question, isn't it? Oh, I want to save. I want to save. I want to save. This feels important. I mean, if you'd been through it and you'd been able to earn enough points the first time round to make your way home, but then you were still missing what you'd lost, then I guess you would become a cast member again, because you know that you can earn enough points to get out, right? So yeah, I think in that case I would. Yeah, it does depend on how important the thing you've lost is, yes. Like, I mean, a lot of them seem to be fairly important. I mean, if we just go back to that list that we had the choices out of last time. I mean, honestly, if what I'd lost was my gender, I really wouldn't give a shit. I don't really care about that in the first place. But any of the other things, maybe. Yeah, but I think for things like your voice or your sight or things like that, if you've managed to lose those things and still get out, then I feel like becoming a cast member again is reasonable. I'd become a cast member one more time. It's to get my voice back.
本当に？今度も無事に帰れるという保証はないんだよ。帰れたとしても、今度は記憶を失ってるかも。
Maybe, but if there was a chance I could get it back, I don't think I could simply give up.
あるいは死んでしまうかもしれないので。
Even so, if it's precious to me, I'd want to get it back. I wish I could have it returned.
かわいい顔するね。
Yeah, if you'd lost your memory, would you be more likely to go back? It depends on what memory you lose. Like, can you even remember being a participant on the stream? You know. Or I don't know.
寂しさ、動揺、希望、いろんな気持ちが入り混じった顔だ。感情が丸出しの無防備な顔。
Being told that, I covered my face with my hands. I didn't think I'd be called defenseless.
君のその顔が嘘でないことを心から祈るよ。もし嘘だとしたら立ち直れそうにない。
A lie? Yoichi, you're Are you lying to me? I was about to write that, but then deleted it.
何なんて書こうとしたの
It's nothing.
今日の君は隠し事が多いね。感情をさらけ出したと思ったら今度がっちり扉を閉めて。
It's not my intention, it's just that... I want to believe in you, Iochi. I do want to believe in Iochi.
何今まで信じてくれてなかったの
They said that with an exasperated tone, but they smiled while patting me on the head. The sensation felt like it was full of love, but then it was quickly removed. If I said I didn't trust Iochi, I'm sure Iochi wouldn't have gotten mad. The softness of that hand on my head told me everything I needed to know.
君が何を思ったか僕にはわからないけれど僕はプロデューサーじゃないよそれは確かな真実だと思ってくれていい
I really, really, really hope I can believe you on that, Iochi, because I think it would kill me if you were.
心の中は開いて見せられないから今は言葉だけだけどね
The truth.
あとはどう考えてくれても構わないよそれは君の自由そして君が誰を信じても君の自由だけど僕がこうやって優しくしていても僕のことは信じたいで終わっちゃうどうしてハイジ君のことは最初から信じるで決まってるんだろうねずるいな焼けちゃう
Although Iochi kept a gentle smile, Iochi's gaze was fixed on me. It was strict and I couldn't look away.
年下というだけで君は手放しに信じてしまうんだ僕が年上なばかりに残念だよ
That's because I couldn't say it. I couldn't write it. What Iochi was saying here isn't wrong at all.
信じないようにすることは案外難しいよね君のように信じることが癖になっている子は特にそうだろうと思うよ自分より後に生まれてきた人間を無条件に守りたい信じたい尊い考え方だね
Am I wrong?
違うの僕は本当に尊いと思ってるどうして君と出会ったのがこの世界だったのかこの出会い呪いたくなるほどにね
Well, right. I need some more water. I was waiting for the end of the scene to go get it. I will be right back. I'm back. Urbana and I were on rotation to make dinner. As usual, when I stood next to Urbana, he would be abnormally irritated. I felt it was getting a bit awkward, but Hyochi came over to help. The three of us went on to prepare dinner together. But then...
ねえ、ご飯の前にお願いがあるんだけど。
Haiji wandered over and asked for his favors again.
ドラマを再演したいんだ。セナお姉ちゃんが罰ゲームを受けたあのドラマ。
No.
それは
I expressed my feelings about it in the morning, and Haiji should have agreed to it back then. I can't do that. I told you that I will find another way, right?
そうだけど、今やりたいんだ。監視者さんに頼んじゃうね。
Hey!
ハイジ君、それが君の優しさだとしても、セナ君の意思を無視するのはどうかと思うよ。
大丈夫だよ。お姉ちゃんは立っているだけでいいから。
Does he intend to throw himself out of the window? Will that count? Just stand there? While some doubts remained, Haiji requested to the Watcher to restart the drama.
監視者さん、ドラマの再演するよ。お姉ちゃんが罰ゲーム受けちゃったやつ。
Like, will it even count? Will it even count if it's not us that do it? If we refuse to do it for a second time, will we get another punishment? Yeah.
リクエスト受け付けました。再演を開始します。
Oh no, it's going to start! Stream status. Drama start in 1 minute. Stream content. School of Forgiveness, episode 11. Genre. School drama. Cast. Wataru, Tsukumi Haiji. Egawa, Hiyori Sena. Kitakura, Sota Gyobu.
大丈夫だよ、お姉ちゃん。すぐ終わるからね。
I didn't understand what Haiji was feeling behind that smile. The drama countdown was quicker. Maybe because it was a reenactment. It was usually 3 minutes, but this time it was just 1. I was transported to the classroom and saw that Gyobu and Haiji were there.
何これ？このドラマ、例のやつだよね。うん。お姉ちゃんが罰ゲーム受けたドラマ。今から再演するから、行部お兄ちゃんもよろしくね。じゃあようやく君もハイジ君を突き落とす覚悟ができたんだ。
I shook my head violently in front of Gyobu. Seeing me panic, Gyobu opened his eyes widely at Haiji.
違うみたいだけど、どうする気？大丈夫。なんとかするよ。だから始めちゃおう。あっそう。僕はどうでもいいけどさ。
Without any time to question Haiji, the countdown started. So, I just have to follow through with it, but Wataru became the target of bullying, but on conversing with the homeroom teacher, the situation improved. However, the relief was short-lived, as Egawa, the mastermind of the bullying, and Kitakura called him out. I recognized this synopsis. It was definitely the drama where I lost my voice. Gyobu and I were the masterminds of the bullying as we began to corner Haiji. In the ending scene, I would have to push him out of the window. But I can't speak, so what do I do? Kyobu and Haiji covered for me as the scene continued on.
黙ってて。君の話なんて聞く必要ないよ。
黙らない。俺はお前らなんかに負けない。
違うよ、渡り。俺は勝負なんかじゃない。勝負は最初からついてるからね。この学校に来た時から君は負け犬なんだよ。
I couldn't act out what was past this point. Haiji and Kyobu faced off by the window. I could only stand idly as they did that.
ほら、おいでよ。
Huh? Haiji called me over and sat on the windowsill. The wind blew past him as his hair wavered. He looked like he would fall at any moment, so I nervously ran up to him. Watch out! I grabbed his arm and our eyes met. His expression was calm, almost smiling. Haiji?
やっぱり来てくれた。お姉ちゃんならそうしてくれると思ったよ。
That wasn't part of the act, it was the usual Haiji. He sat on the frame of the window as we exchanged looks. I tried to guess his intention, but I just didn't understand. Is he telling me to push him here? But before the drama started, Haiji said all I had to do was stand there. What's the contradiction to that? I tried to understand what was going on, and Haiji spoke up. Is he going to force us out with him? Good question.
大丈夫。怖くないよ。
He gently pulled my hand away from him and then held it with both hands. But that was only for a moment. Haiji pushed me away with all of his strength. If you push someone while sitting on the windowsill, the recoil would cause him to fall backwards. I tried to reach out to grab him, but he pushed me so hard that I fell backward. Haiji then fell out of the window without a sound. Haiji! My hands were on the floor of the classroom while I could only look on. Execution status. Resume function in 3 seconds. Execution target, voice. Target cast, Hiyori Senna. Well, it worked! But at what cost? After the drama ended, I remained on the floor exactly how I was in the classroom.
お疲れ様。
Hyochi and Abana must have been watching the drama. When I returned, they didn't say much else as they sat me down on a chair in the living room.
お疲れ様。お姉ちゃん、頑張ったね。
I didn't understand what Haiji was saying. He fell over like that, so why is he complimenting me? Why? Thanks to the reenactment, my voice had returned. But I didn't feel happy about it at all.
ああ、よかったな。これで元通りだ。
再演するときは前もって言ってよね。急に来たからちょっと焦っちゃったよ。
いずれにせよ、セナの声が戻ったのなら一安心だな。どうだ、セナ。
Everyone all came down to the living room at once. It was a lively exchange that had a hint of happiness. Oh, my voice is back!
よかった。あれ？みんな集まってどうしたんですか？
ドラマ見てなかったんですか？セナの声が元に戻ったんです。
そうだったんですか。外にいたので見ていなかったんですが、それは良かったです。
本当によかった。あんなに嫌がってたけど頑張ったね、セナ君。
再演はしないとか言い切ってたくせに、あんなに簡単に突き落として終わるなら心配するまでもなかったな。
I wonder about our points. We probably don't get those back. In fact, I'm not sure we got points at all for that reenactment.
心配してたの？
違う。俺じゃなくて、お前らが。
You were worried.
心配だったんでしょ？
うぜえ。
Huh? They all think I was the one who pushed? That's how it looked? That's why the reenactment was acknowledged? But I wasn't the one who pushed, it was all Haiji that... I looked over at Haiji, but... He just smiled as he shook his head while putting his index finger over his lips, as if to say this was our little secret. Haiji did everything. I was unable to tell everyone about what had happened. They just congratulated me that my voice was back. The day after I got my voice back, I was talking with everyone normally while doing the new dramas without issue. I felt that things were progressing smoothly, and although it was not my intention, I think maybe that was for the best. Haiji did all that for my sake. Dinner on that day was served with a more lavish variety as part of a surprise. Hyochi said it was to celebrate getting my voice back, and Hibana didn't deny it. Haiji said that he was happy he could help, making me happy too. I took the punishment game out of my own stubbornness, but everyone is happy for me. I'm so glad I'm friends with everyone. I'm so glad I'm with everyone here.
片付けもこれで終了っと。あれ？瀬名君、終わるの待ってたの？
Yes, I'm sorry for letting you do all of it.
いいんだよ。君のためのお祝いだしね。エバナ君、嬉しそうだったよ。
誰がそんな。
楽しかったね。毎日こうならいいのにな。
Yeah, I agree. I happened to be preparing some tea, so I made some for everyone on the team. Hibana was about to return to his room, but Hyochi stopped him, allowing all of us to gather. I looked at everyone's faces as I said what I thought of yesterday. I've decided to place my trust in everyone even more than before, especially to the three here.
なんなんだ急に。
I've been thinking since yesterday. It was my fault I took the punishment game, so I was in a hurry to do something about it. Thanks to everyone's help, I was able to get my voice back, and everyone congratulated me like it happened to themselves. I just felt so happy about that. Even if I were to be betrayed in the future, I've decided to not give up.
だから、みんなのことを信じることにした。
Yes, I want to believe instead of suspect. I think I'm just better at doing that.
いいと思うよ、僕は。僕だってお姉ちゃんのことを信じてるし、誰が怪しいとか考えたことないよ。
って言ってるハイジのことも信じるってことか。行部はハイジが怪しいと言ってただろ。行部のことは信じていないのか。
I mean, personally, I'm not sure I trust Gyobu, but of course I believe in Gyobu for saying that Haiji is suspicious, but that doesn't mean I'll accept every one of his opinions.
お前の言う信じるの範囲は何なんだ。信用している人間の話を信じることは信じるとは違うのか。
Well...
お前のやってることはただの日和見主義だろ。全員を信じていると話をなあなあにして 真実を暴こうとする人間を裏切っている。綺麗事しか言えないくせに戦いを覚悟した奴らに近づくなよ。平和ボケは一人でやってろ。
エヴァナ君、言い過ぎだよ。君と彼女の考えが違ったとしてもそこまで言う権利はないだろう。
イライラするんです。真実を覆い隠したままここにいるのは仲間だって。
I mean, I feel like believing in everyone is better than just trusting everyone. Personally.
ヘドが出る。俺はこの場にプロデューサーがいたら迷いなく殴り飛ばしてるからな。
Honestly, I felt the same way as Haiji. Even if my opinions differed from Ivana that much, why would he go to this length to say that to me?
言い過ぎ。君はもうちょっと他人の意見を許容できる余裕を作った方がいいよ。君がもし真実を追い求めているのだとしたら一人で成し遂げられることだとは思わない方がいい。そんな風に誰も彼も敵だと思っていては誰も君に協力してくれなくなるよ。
別にいいですよ。そもそも行部の言ってることは事実だ。事実に基づいた推論なのに聞き入れられないのは愚かだ。
事実？どの話？
異世界配信のシステム仕様変更は今から2つ前の配信の後に行われた。つまり前回の異世界配信の直前だ。そしてその恩恵を受けた前回配信のキャストは無事元の世界へ帰ることができた。キャストの数は9人。ただ前回も監視員が紛れ込んでいたとディレクターは言っていたから実際には8人だったかもしれない。
9 rather than 10, huh?
行部はそのことを俺たちに話した。あいつの言っていたことは全部事実だ。
Where did you get that information?
行部君が事実を話しているのだから彼の言っていることを信じろ。
少なくとも事実は受け入れるべきだ。ハイジが怪しいっていうのは俺の中でも推論じゃなく事実だ。
やっぱり僕なんだ。
あの時も話したけどそれに対する反証を用意しろっていうのは小学生には酷な話だよ。それに事実だと言うけれどどうして君はそれを知ってるの？どこからその情報を得た？君もそこは言わないんだ。
もしかしてエバナお兄ちゃんは前もキャストをやってたの？だからそんなことを知ってるの？
それかプロデューサー本人か。どっちだいエヴァナ君。
好きに考えてください。それに対する根拠を用意するつもりはありません。
I mean, I feel like Ivana, out of these three, Ivana seems the least likely to have been a previous cast member. Could it be possible that everyone here lost something? Yeah, it could be, except... Tomose. Us and Tomose. We would know if Tomose had gone missing for a while, right? So I feel like that makes at least 2 out of 10 that couldn't be previous cast members, right? Surely. Unless there's some kind of time acceleration going on as well and people don't actually go missing for a while. Yeah. Exactly. We don't know how much time passes. I mean, assuming that time passes at the same rate, then Tomase probably isn't a returning cast member. But everyone else could be. It's possible. At the very least, it feels likely that Iochi and Haiji could be, having lost memory and gender, I assume. Because that does make one kind of sense for how Haiji is. Hmm.
ならどうして話したの？君も行部君も根拠もないのに情報だけ提供するなんて不思議だね。
But like, if they are returning members, then wouldn't they all know each other from then anyway? Because it's only the group before us that has actually survived. I don't know.
行部がどうかは知りませんが、俺はあんたらの反応が見たかっただけです。
よくわかんないけど、つまり僕が悪いってことだね。
No, that's not it.
だってそうでしょ。エバナお兄ちゃんも行部お兄ちゃんも僕が信じられないって。
Even if that's the case, that doesn't put you at fault.
でもどうしたらいいのかわかんないし。
まったくお兄さんたちはひどいね。小学生をいじめるなんて。でも難しいね。一方の言い分を信じれば一方を信じないということになる。一体誰が正しいのか終わってみないとわからない。
Hannah,
なんだよ。
I understand what you're thinking, but I won't change my mind. Hibana, I choose to believe in what you're saying and in what Gyobu is saying too. I believe the both of you, but I also believe in Haiji no matter how suspicious you say he is.
それはお姉ちゃん。
When the truth is found out, you can make fun of me as much as you want. I don't care if I'm betrayed. Right now, I've chosen to believe in everyone. I knew I was being reckless. I understood if others called me a hypocrite. But I thought it would be good to have someone who was willing to be in my position too.
ありがとう、お姉ちゃん。お姉ちゃんが信じるって言うなら、僕もみんなを信じるよ。そういうの、あまり考えたことなかったけど、これからはちゃんと考えることにする。みんなを信じて協力すればいいんだよね。
Haiji.
信じる者は救われるかな。疑うばかりじゃつかめない真実もあるだろう。僕も信じてるよ。僕の基準でね。
基準？
日常生活に支障が出ない程度には信頼関係を築くつもりだってことで、つまり仲良くやろうってこと。
なるほど。
仲良くとか協力とか。
そうやってバカにするけど、君の言ってることも一つの協力だろ。僕らを見放すなら無言で離れればいいんだよ。なのに君は瀬名君に厳しい指摘をし忠告をした。僕はそれも一つの協力だと思うね。素直じゃないよ、本当に。
Yeah, you say things in harsh ways, but I'll keep your opinion in mind, Hibana.
ああ、
意地張らないで。誰でも信じちゃう瀬名君が心配だから俺を信じてついてこいくらい 言えばいいのね。
Is that what he meant?
おかしな要約しないでください。言ってませんよ、そんなことは。
でも瀬名君の姿勢が心配だから切れてるんでしょ。
違う、そういう、それは。
前から思ってたけど、エバナお兄ちゃんって急に喋るのが下手になる時があるよね。
ハイジ君、人はね、思わぬところで図星をつかれると知能が一気に低下して喋れなくなるんだ。
へえ、それが今ってこと？
そうそう。
Hannah was at a complete loss for words, while Iochi and Haiji talked about him in such a blunt and honest way. All they could do at the time was look on while smiling wryly. Okay, to the yard where this group is. The living room, this group. Well, it's going to be exit the lodging because I see Iochi. I didn't have anything planned for today, so I aimlessly took a walk outside. Along the way, I noticed some unfamiliar stores and stopped in my tracks. I didn't know this shop was here. I can't see much from the outside, but I wonder what they sell.
おや、瀬名君偶然だね。こんな場所で何をしてたのかな
？Yeah, I wasn't expecting to have something like that. Just I'm gonna save again. Out of interest, I want to see what it still says. If it still says cooking team. It does in fact still say cooking team. Oh, hello Iochi. I noticed that store there and wondered what it was.
なるほど。看板の雰囲気からして雑貨屋ってところかな。よければ一緒に入ってみない？
Is that okay? I knew it was a store, but I was worried about going alone, so it was great timing. Yoichi responded by reciprocating my sentiment, but right when we placed our hands on the door...
お、瀬名じゃん。伊内さんも。こんなとこで何してるんすか？
Oh, Akase. And Chigasaki too?
どうも、こんにちは。
ちょっと散歩をね。君たちは？
僕たちは情報収集の帰りです。残念ながらあまりこれといった収穫はなかったのですが。
ああ、でもこんなものを見つけたんすよ。
Akase took out what appeared to be a small machine from his pocket. Oh, what is that?
多分ゲームの機械だな。確かこの中でペットみたいなやつを育てられたはず。
He found a Tamagotchi!
これは壊れているのでできませんが、もしかしたら直せる方がいるかもと思って持って帰ってきたんですよ。
Yeah, I mean, Drag, I was wondering if it was basically just, if the cooking team thing was sort of a split off that then came back in again to just regular common route, but I guess not. I guess it wouldn't. It looks pretty old.
ちょっと貸してもらえるかな。
Akase handed the game machine to Iochi, and Iochi observed it intently.
これは赤瀬くんの言う通り、一昔前に流行ったペット育成型の小型ゲーム機だね。
Iochi, have you ever played with this before?
小さい時にね。もしかして君たちはないのかい？
Showing your age there, Iochi. I haven't.
俺もデータとして見たことしか。
そうなんだ。そんなに年は違わないはずなんだけど、おかしいな。
I mean, there is the question of have we all necessarily come from the same point in time? I mean, we know a bunch of us have because we're at the same high school together and we've seen each other. But
僕も本物は初めて見るんですが、何を育てられるんですか？
モンスターみたいな生き物だよ。最初は卵を温めて返すところから始まるんだけど。
thinking about not necessarily coming from the same point in time reminds me of of an Otome game I played a while back. What was it? Why can I not remember the name of it? That's gonna bother me, so I'm gonna look it up. Bad Apple Wars. That was a thing there. I remember.
餌をやったり掃除をしたり案外細かい操作が必要だから世話を怠れば死んでしまったりもする。まあそういうところが面白いんだろうけどね。
なるほど、思ったよりシビアなんですね。
We used to own a dog-type pelt. Our family loved it, but it died right before I came to this world.
それは悲しかったでしょう。
Yes, we were all sad, but the time we spent with Kyo was real.
今日君の飼っていたパルトの名前は今日っていうのかい？
Hello, Card. I have no idea what you're talking about. Yes?
今日か。いや、ここにも犬みたいな今日がいるなと思って。
Yoichi looked over at Akase suggestively.
え、俺？
Oh, Kyoya.
その通り。さ、赤瀬くん、おで。するわけないじゃないっすか。おや？ブリーダーの僕にそういう態度を取るのかい？
どんな設定っすか、まったく。
Oh, the Monday stream. Did I forget to hit end? Well, I guess it turned off on its own, huh? Honestly, I had no idea I'd done that. But it... No, I definitely turned it off. Because if I hadn't turned it off, then when I came here to set things up today, it wouldn't have been on the main studio page. I'm pretty sure I turned it off. Maybe it was a YouTube issue. I must have hit end and then the dismiss and then they go back to the main studio page. Yeah, because otherwise, when I came back to here today, it would have still been on that page. And it wasn't. So I'm gonna assume it was YouTube messing up.
ちょっとした冗談だよ、冗談。
Hyochi dangled the game machine while winking.
いや、今のは半分本気の時の顔でした。
ああ、そういえばこのゲーム機しばらく僕に預けてくれるなら直してみるよ。
直せるんですか？
任せてよ。こういうのは結構得意なんだ。
It probably just needs a new battery. Or for someone to press the reset button. That's amazing. These things are tough to fix.
機械いじりをする機会が多くてね。背中も直してほしいものがあったら遠慮なく僕のところに持っておいで。
If there is anything, I'll be sure to.
君のお願いだったらいつでも歓迎だよ。もちろん修理以外のことでもね。と日も暮れてきたことだし、このままみんなで帰ろうか。
The four of us walked together as Iochi suggested. Things were sometimes hostile because we suspected each other, but I liked how calm it was. Oh! I was talking with Iochi about going inside a shop. I remembered that and turned to look at that shop. Too bad. I was looking forward to going shopping with Iochi.
どうかしたのかな？
We found our person. Ah, yes. Yes, we have found a replacement for Kyo. Iochi noticed that I'd stopped and also stopped to call out to me. Oh, it's nothing. I guess it can't be helped. And I'm sure we'll have the chance to shop another day.
そう。それならいいけど。じゃあ、僕からいいかな、背中。
Huh? Yes. What is it?
実は、君と一緒に店に入れなかったのが、思ったより僕の心残りみたいなんだ。
Iochi.
だから、もし君さえ良ければなんだけど、また日を改めて、どうかな。ああ、もちろん、二人っきりでね。
Are you asking me on a date, Iochi? Iochi said that with a playful wink, and I couldn't help but smile. I was just thinking right now about how it's too bad we didn't get to go today.
そう、ならよかった。それじゃ、決まりだね。
Iochi was kind, so they must have seen me looking disappointed and done this out of consideration. I felt happy to see how considerate they were.
さて、行こっか。赤瀬くんたちが早くって顔でこっちを見てるからね。
Oh, you're right. We smiled at each other and caught up to them. We then chatted about random things as we went back to the lodging. Oh, we're getting a double choice. At least a double choice. Hmm. I'm not sure, I'm not sure, I'm not sure, I'm not sure. Yeah, a banner or Haiji, right? I guess. Let's go poke the tsundere. After all, I basically decided that if it turns out that Iochi is the locked route, I'm probably going for a banner. Because tsundere. After I finished cleaning up for lunch, I was taking a break in the living room. I heard a voice outside and went to the yard to see who it was. Gyobu was talking with the Watcher. Gyobu, what are you doing?
いいところに来たね。じゃーん。バウンサーにお願いして面白いもの出してもらったから、これを使って遊ぼうかと思ってさ。
Something interesting? You mean this hose?
そうだよ。ここって全然暑くないけどさ、本当だったら夏真っ盛りだったでしょ。だからこうやって雰囲気だけでも夏っぽいことをしようかなって。
Gyobu set the hose into the faucet and turned it on to spin around and splash water everywhere. Hey, hold on, Gyobu, if you do that.
あれ？今の声ってまさか。
Ebana, I think? You just drenched the last person you should do that to in the world.
それはちょっとまずい予感がするね。
おい！これをやったのは誰だ？
Ebana ran over looking furious. His hair and clothes were drenched from being hit with water. Oh, Ebana. He got hit from top to bottom.
やっぱケイちゃんだったか。
ケイちゃんだったかじゃねえよ。てめえ、歯食いしばれ。一発投げらせろ。
いやー、暴力反対。
Gyobu pointed the hose at Ebana, hitting him right in the face.
そこまで濡れちゃったら、もういくら濡れたって同じだよね。
ふざけんな！
たまにはいいじゃん。こういうふざけた時間も大事だよ。
お前はいつもふざけてんだろ。
ひどいな。僕はいつも真面目にふざけてるのに。
うるせえ！マジで一回死んでこい！
I'll go get a towel. I went to get a towel in the lodging and returned to the yard and found Pitami joining Gyobu and Ebana.
ずいぶん派手に濡れたな。
Ebana, here's your towel. Ebana reluctantly took the towel and took off his jacket to wipe his body first, then his clothes.
しかし災難だったな。
That's the second Ebana CG we've had today.
災難も何も、このバカが余計なことしなければこんなことには。くそ。左腕にかからなかっただけマシといえばマシか。
It was Ebana who was having problems with his arm. I couldn't remember who it was. Havana took off his glasses, and they vanished.
Huh?
Of course, Gyobu was the culprit.
ねえ、ケイちゃんのこれって伊達メガネ？
なわけねえだろ。早く返せ。
せっかく手に入ったレアアイテムなのに簡単に返したら面白くないよね。
はあ、メガネなんてそんな珍しくないだろ。
レアだよ。だってこれケイちゃんだし。
意味がわかんねえ。
あ、良一さんってこういうの似合いそうだよね。
Do you want to know what is up with his left arm? Yeah, he's got a glove on it, so maybe it's just that his left arm's a prosthetic. Well, which I mean does equally go with the hey, maybe he lost it in the previous stream.
そうか？
そうだ、せっかくだしちょっとかけてみてよ。
これか？
二見さんも悪乗りしないでください。
ちょっとだけだからな。
もう勝手にしろ。
Yeah, they do suit him.
うわ、メガネの良一さんだ。
うわって。
思わず出ちゃった正直な僕でごめんね。でも似合う似合う。君もそう思うよね。
I do agree. Yeah.
あれ、あんまりいい反応じゃないね。
Oh, I also think that the glasses look good on you, Futami, but it's just that Ibana, when you're not wearing your glasses, you look really different.
ああ、
He usually just looks angry, but without his glasses, he feels a bit more innocent and not as scary.
つーか、もういいでしょう。さっさとメガネ返してください。
はいはい。
そうだね。これで性格が良ければもっと良かったのにね。
I'm actually surprised that they made a version of his sprite without glasses. That's attention to detail. They could have just done this entire scene on the CG.
自分で性格がいいなんて思ってないが、お前よりは100万倍はマシだ。
ねえ、僕こんなに性格いいのに？
性格いいんじゃなくて、いい性格してるだけだろ。
お前らもうそのくらいにしておいたらどうだ。ほらエバナ、勝手に借りたりして悪かった。
After saying that, Futami returned Ivana's glasses. He put his glasses back on in silence, and Ivana returned to his usual self.
もう終わり？残念だな。メガネだったら君も似合いそうだし、今度は君がかけて見せてくれたりしない？
You mean me? Does Kyobu have a thing for glasses? I mean, it seems like it.
うんうん。だからもう一回ケイちゃんはメガネを。
絶対貸さないからな。
ああ、ケイちゃんのケチン。
ケチじゃねえし。
Hannah, maybe you should dry yourself off better.
言われなくてもそうする。
After saying that, Havana went back into the lodging, and he looked irritated. I hope he didn't catch a cold.
思ったより話せてるって自分で気づいてないとは。さすがケイちゃん。
気づいてない？
なんでもないです。あ、もうこんな時間か。残念だけど、水遊びはまた今度やろうね。
We all went back to the lodging and ended our sudden party. Oop. Chapter 7. Who can you trust? You know, that's probably a good position to end on, looking at the time. At the beginning of a new chapter, actually, let's just are we still on the common roots game? Da-da-da. Yes, still on the common roots. That was why I needed to check, Drag. All right. Well, thank you very much for coming. It's been fun. We have learned things, and I'm still not sure who I trust and who I don't. But yeah. So, if you're new here and you've enjoyed your time, please consider subscribing to the channel. You can also follow me on social media, which is linked in the description. Longest common route you've seen so far. I've seen longer. Quinrose does some really long, well, did some really, really long common routes. Yes. Where was I? Streaming schedule for this channel. It's both over here on YouTube in the posts tab of the channel and over on social media. The next scheduled stream is Friday, 7 PM for the next part of the main story in Twisted Wonderland, and also attempting to pull for Ruggy's birthday card. Wish me luck. So, hope to see you then or another time. Once again, thank you very much for coming, and this is Kalla signing out. See ya! Bye bye!